Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. It worked a treat. I have stitched the 3 panels on that we have made and it is fantastic. It is rigid enough to stand, as you can see, so once those 2 sides are in, it is going to be really, really good. So, so pleased, and it was really simple. There was something I was going to mention and I've forgotten all about it. What was it now? Oh, the only thing I would say, if you were doing a colour scheme and white was not something you would want to see, it works beautifully with this because the white blends with everything. You would need to cut back that wadding so that all you saw was the pretty edges of the 2 fabrics. That'd be my only comment. But having said that, if you kept that in mind, that you will see a white, maybe when selecting fabrics, it's sort of part of your design. Something just to think about. But yeah, I love it. I really, really love it. It is going to work a treat. So we have 2 sides to go. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get into this. Now, I've got my next piece and some scraps and this little guy. Now, I guess the first thing, I'm really enjoying doing this little bit of stitching as well. So we need to decide, I'd like to explore this a little more and maybe make this one a little bit more beige. Let's have a look at some of the light coloured ones. Where's that piece that has that beige with a spot? This one. That one there. Yeah, let's use this little guy. I think he'll work with it. And maybe we can explore this a little bit. I did want to do that wave. Maybe we save the wave for the next one. What stencils do we have left? Let's have a little look. Okay, so we've got a wave that is broken and a wave that is... All right, okay, so we pretty much only really have what we've used. So, being that there's another 2 to make, we'll definitely use the wave in a proper, a bigger piece so we can see it again. But I'm thinking I might do something with this little guy. Like we... just bear with me. Got 20 ideas scooting through the brain. What if we follow the lead of this and we'll say, okay, now we're looking at an idea of we've got a shape on some fabric and we're just building on it. I think this will be... And then what do we do in here? Gone quiet. I'm concentrating. Can't you tell? No, that's my chair clicking. It's not my brain. It's not far off. What if we... do this? This would be a little interesting. Now what do we do? Oh my goodness. Now where do we go? Do we need to go anywhere else? I feel like I need another line in here. To finish that. Probably needs to be a little closer. Do we just leave it at that? Okay, let's just leave it at that for a moment and see what else comes of it. Are there any more little pretty pieces of this fabric? Because I really, really like. Oh yeah, look at you. That gets me my little floral. It doesn't really suit. Do we put more of that in? I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it. Is that too similar? I don't know if I want to bring in other colours, but I don't know what I think. I'm literally making this up as I go. I haven't used any of this fabric. Do we? I'm really tempted to do a square of that, to be honest. Can I get rid of the selvage holes easily? Yep, so I can make the selvage blend in. I usually can. They're just little holes that a loom, pins the fabric into position as it's weaving. And you can usually give them a little rub with a needle end and the head of the needle, and they'll blend into the fabric. I like that scrappy edge. Sort of, when I sat down, I really felt like I needed a beige, predominantly beige piece. I think we're going to do this piece. But I do like that other one. Let's just get this drawn and we'll see Probably could do with something hard underneath. What have I got that's big that could sit there? That's Can I just push everything up a little bit to expose the bottom here? And yeah, that's going to work. So bear with me as we sketch this little guy into position. Yeah, this will be good. Sort of keeping within our style. Really could do with another little stencil. I did order those ones that I showed you a couple of days ago on that East Meets West Etsy store. I must add their details to the description too. I don't know if they'll arrive in time because I'm sort of getting this project completed to move on to something else. So they will probably be used in the next video. Next time we play with these fabrics. Oh, getting a bit of a sniffly nose. What's going on? It's starting to cool off here in Brisbane, so everyone's putting their fireplaces on. And they never used to bother me, but as I've got older, the smoke now gives me a bit of a snuffly nose through the night. If it clears up because it's not anything, and as soon as I get the fresh air, it's all good. Really gets to my husband. He's just, oh gosh, he hates it, hates it. Our house is low too. Well, it's high but low. Does that make sense? We're on the bottom side of the street, and then you come down probably about 1.5 meters to where the front door is, and then the block is pretty much flat from there. So the smoke comes drifting down, and it always sits in the low spot. So we tend to feel like we've got a little bit more smoke than everyone else. Oh goodness, there's my nose. I'm going to have to stop the video and grab a tissue, but I'm going to try and finish this. So I did all that. I apologise, guys, if you can hear me sniffling here. We don't have heating. We just get a blanket, put some slippers on, put a coat on. It's just not, we don't think, very cold. Like it's probably 3-4 days when it's really, really cold, and we tend to just have a hot shower and rug up. Brisbane's not a cold climate. Queensland's not a cold climate. It is a little bit out west, like where I grew up. It gets down to 0 and below. That's cold. But Brisbane, I don't think I've ever seen a 0. It's lucky to get past 5. I think that's enough. Let's go. Yes, beautiful. Now what we might do, This will do our traditional whip around the edge. Yep. That looks pretty good. I was watching a video showing the stitching this way, and the traditional way of doing it, there are no knots. I thought, oh, it's very interesting. The modern way of doing it is like what we do now. We just do a little knot and away you go. But traditionally, what am I doing? Come on, girl. Yeah, you sort of weave back on yourself. That makes sense. It was really, really interesting to watch. There was no speaking in the little video. It's just one of those random things that pops up. I think YouTube found it for me, actually. I jiggered that up. It's all good. Let's get that lined up there. Oh, what am I doing? Why can't I see that? There it is. Working on beige. Degree of difficulty high. Beige on beige. There we go. Lovely. And the last side. Such a soft fabric, but because it's going on to, what am I doing? Well, gee, I'm struggling to see this. I need a single line. Too hard. Those two together. That's what's confusing me. See how there's two lines together on that stencil? Oh, couldn't see. Couldn't see where I was meant to be. That's got it. Oh, I do apologise. My nose is really starting to get going now. I will stop the video, clear my nose, and I'm ready. No distractions then. Yeah, that's really good. Really, really good. All right, guys. Reposition this. Okay, back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm back and I can breathe. Now. I don't know. Let's get our design up the right way. I suppose if it did go that way, we just do that. Don't know, I like it like that. I don't know. Why am I struggling? I'm overthinking it. Why am I overthinking it? I don't know. What else is inspirational? I have a little dot here. Quite like that. I don't want to lose all of that floral. I'm only losing a little bit. If we raise it up a little, we would get a little bit more fabric. So I could trim that off there, get that spot in there. Do we work our made in Japan in? I don't know. I sort of feel like this, this might, that's too similar, so we can't use that. This feels different. But do we, ooh, look at that. Oh, okay, 2 pieces of fabric. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was looking at thinking, how did they do that? How come it didn't seep through? It seeped through there, but did, oh my goodness. That's an interesting piece of fabric, but it's a shame to cut that. It looks like mountains. Am I overthinking it? Do we pop all that in there and put a pop of that? Quite pretty. Or do we utilise this piece and have that little bit of blue? No, it's too matchy-matchy, isn't it? Oh my goodness me. Don't really want to use dark blue. I could put a piece of this in. But I did say at the beginning that I probably wouldn't use it because the lining is that colour. To me, that seems too similar. Look, I'm going to do it. I know I said I wouldn't, but I think I will. I'm going to cut that piece through there. And I might twizzle that around so we get the edge of the selvage popping into the party. Yep, we've got the edge of the selvage over there. I think I'm happy with that spot. I'm going to cut that one. And that will come up here. I might tuck it under. Might as well. And then that will go. I don't know. I'm going to move it down here. I sort of feel like, yeah, that's better. That was competing up there. Does that make sense? And then if I cut this, I get a nice little morsel to use elsewhere. Yeah, I like that. What about a pale blue? Where's that denim style dyeing? Where's some of these little colours? Who would have thought this was so hard? Where's our stripe? Here we go. Oh, it's getting better. And then maybe we can put something up there that breaks it. Where's a pale? I think that's good. I wonder if I can get that to go like that. Sort of, when I go the full length, it's too close to this edge. I think that's what's bothering me. So do I tuck it in under here to make sure it pushes back a bit? Yeah, I don't mind that. And why am I not liking it? Do I mind it? I don't know. I could trim that down a little. Do I need to trim it down? Maybe the made in Japan's got to come up here. That's better. Do I put another piece of this? Do I tuck that in there and that in there? Well, that's definitely pleasing to the eye. But why is it that this is just not doing it for me? Is it because maybe the stripes need to run this way? I don't know. The stripes run that way, then what goes there? Does the pale fabric come back into play? A pale blue. I don't mind that. I think you'll barely notice that that dark blue is there. But maybe that's just the pop it needs to. I like this down here, how it's plain. We can do something with, you know, some stitching. This up here, I think I'd just do borrow over the whole thing. Where's our made in Japan? Uh-oh. Oh, no. What have we done with it? There it is. Maybe now that will look right in there. Yeah, that's what it is. We could come right down onto that edge then. So it's at the top. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, so that's enough fabric. I think I might just come down a little bit. Let's not be stingy. Then we get a little bit of that dark. Put that through there. Add some pins. Yeah. Gee, that took a bit of effort, didn't it? Isn't it funny how some just come together and others just struggle? That's better. I think the blue fabric, I've just felt like there was lots of lines going across. I don't know why. There's a little bit. Okay. And away we go. So I just want to trim this up a little bit. Okay. I won't do any more trimming. I'll just let it settle as, you know, we start stitching. That definitely is going to go there. I like that. So I want an invisible stitch. We might stitch that in first with the invisible stitch, and that in turn will secure that whole top corner. So what's everyone up to today? What have you got planned for your day? I don't have anything really planned. It's feeling like a lazy day, actually. Have I got a pin under there? I do. Let's not go and put another one on top. Let's get this little Japan in. I'm hoping I'll get a bit of stitching done. I really should do some housework, for goodness sakes. It's just, oh, don't get me wrong, I like a tidy house, but it's just the cleaning side of things. It's like you just do it. There's only two of us. It's not like it's a tribe living here. But oh, I don't know. I always seem to be able to think of something better to do. Is that normal? I think it's normal. I love washing. Love doing washing. I'm always washing. As soon as it gets to a couple loads, I'm in. But general cleaning, I like cleaning the floor. I hate mopping the floor, but I've got one of those swishy things that you can run over a floor. That's all right, and I could do that every day because I hate the feeling of something under your feet. I'm a bit of a barefoot girl, so I'm always walking around barefoot, so I know when my floor needs cleaning, and it's, regularly because I can feel it. But mopping, that's just a lot of work on my shoulder. If cleaning is simple, I'm there. If it's complex, do it tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes the next day and the next day. I don't mind cleaning toilets and showers, and when I do it, I don't mind it. But it's just, I don't know. I'd rather be in my sewing craft room. You know what I'm saying, don't you? I don't mind cooking, but good morning, Casper. How are you this morning? He's had his breakfast and he's been to the toilet, been outside to the toilet, and now he's back in to say good morning. Yeah. To get that down there. So this little snippety bit here, I'm just doing a series of invisible stitches on it. I don't think we'll outline it because it's so fine and so delicate that my stitching would be probably overpowering for it. To get an edge in there, I don't think would look complementary to the design. I wonder how long that first section of video was. I didn't even look. I should have looked, so now I have no idea how long we should go before I tap into that hour. I was in too much of a hurry to get back. Gosh, their fabrics are very lightweight, open weave. They're just beautiful. They nearly have a crepe feel about them. Very soft, would drape really well. All right, I think I've got that pretty secure. I might just scoot straight down through here. That is straight, isn't it? You're back again, Casper. Hey? Hey, Pussycat. Just give the Pussycat a quick little pat. Make Pussycat happy. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Oh, hello, Casper. He's looking at me to say, can I come up? Hey, Casper, just a moment. Okay. I'm talking to the cat, not you guys. Casper, you going to jump up? Going to jump up for a cuddle? No, don't be rushing the cat. Don't be telling the cat what to do. The cat will do what the cat wants to do. What am I trying to do here? I was going to do an invisible stitch right through the center of this little piece, so it was nice and secure. And I might just aim for all the red little... No, I'm not. I've lost the thread. I rushed my coffee, and now I'm having that little hot flush of caffeine. Whew. Okay, down we go. That'll just get us a little bit more security there so things don't fall off. Yep, that's good. I might get one more stitch into that bottom there. I'm really pleased with the way this has come together, but boy, it's taken some time. They don't call it slow stitch for a reason, do they? Oh, goodness sakes. Thread go through there. Okay. Let's get all this out of the way. We've got a hang of a mess here. Gee, girl, put the stencil away. We've got one more panel to figure out. Then we've got to do our little loops and the strap. I have to go back to my notes to see what everyone was using. They're all very similar, just a ½ an inch between everyone's measurements. Wouldn't it be great? I was just thinking, could you hear the thinking? Wouldn't it be great if you were going on a holiday and you took 5 little panels with you and you stitched, and it didn't have to be connected to the holiday, but it could, and then that little box on your craft table would remind you forever of the holiday. Like a memory box, but based on the style of this, rice bag. How good would that be? Especially if you were, going to places where you could get little snippets of things to add to your box. Like it's very interesting concept. Not just what's left from a great project, but just thinking out aloud. Oops. There we go. Now I've got blue thread, so slow down, girl. Finish that off and come up to here. Oops. Now I might need to actually finish this section of video off and have a look at the time. I have a feeling it was probably about 10 minutes, but I'm not sure. So I should probably stop the video and double check, and then we know how much more time we've got. We should be right, but I will have to do it, I think. Let's just finish this little bit of blue here. Now I'm speeding up. Now I'm getting my mojo. Once I get rid of these pins, I'll be better. Now let's get it flat. Is that straight? Yes. Might just catch this little bit. See, I always say, oh, I'll just do this little bit. I'll just do this little bit. That is so me. It's like when I'm working in the stores with my husband and we might be hanging Christmas decorations. And it'll be like, well, we'll just do this little bit. And he's getting weary from going up and down a ladder. And I'm the one at the bottom of the ladder handing him the pieces or the projects. We'll just do this little bit. We'll just hang this. Now, just move your ladder over to here and we'll hang this up here. It drives him nuts. I'm very much, if I can do it today, I will. Don't leave it till tomorrow. When my husband's like, just do one thing really well and then that's a task for another day, you know. He's that type of thinker, doer, where I'm put as much as I can in today because then tomorrow's free for something else. And even if there's no something else, there could be a something else. So let's just get it done and then it's done. Completely different ways of thinking. Okay, that's that little bit of blue thread. All right, I think we can remove that pin. We need a little bit more blue there. So we've just got to the half an hour mark. I better stop the video, check the time. I know I've been saying that, but I'm going to do it. And then maybe I finish the invisible stitch. Then when I come back, we can get into some pretty stitches. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Hi guys, I'm back. So I ended up putting the 2 pieces of video into the little program I use that edits my videos. It's iMovie. It's just an app on my phone. And it's 50 minutes. I cannot believe it's 50 minutes. I didn't do the rest of the invisible stitch because I figured that 10 minutes is not going to give me much time really to start anything. So I thought I'll just turn the video straight back on, finish this invisible stitch, and then tomorrow when we get together, I can, you know, get into it. So my homework will be to overcast all of the raw edges so that nothing disintegrates on us, like go over all these little beige edges, this edge up here, just so that that's all prepped. And then tomorrow's video we can work on all the pretty stitches. So that's pretty good there. I've secured that. So the only spot left now is down the bottom corner here. And everything is seated quite well. Ouch. I'll attach the video that I was watching, I mentioned, that showed the traditional way and, of course, the modern way to do the stitching. So modern is you start with a knot, you finish with a knot. So that's, you know, pretty much what we've been doing. But the traditional way of doing this stitch is there's no knot. So it's very clean looking on the back. So we'll have a play with that tomorrow. But they pretty much come back on themselves. So when the tail is through the fabric, you then stitch back over the tail. So it sort of becomes part of the row. I wouldn't say I'm a lover of it because it makes that section of stitching look quite thick because there's two layers of that cotton. Does that make sense? It'll make sense tomorrow. I've got to remember to attach that video telling you stories and you can't even check it out. Okay, so that little corner is nice and secure. Now what I might do is we'll pick up here. We'll go on a diagonal right through that piece. Just to pin it, and I'm aiming for where the red marks are so that it's not how quickly you run out of cotton. Where are my little scissors got to? Why am I using these huge big things? Oh my goodness, I get a mess and then I can't find, there they are, I found them. Come on little guys, and they're not exactly the ones. They're supposed to be near my couch. I say my normal big yellow handle ones are at the couch and they're here. I sorted out my cottons. That's still sitting in the other room, but I need another container. Grandma, there was more than 80. So I need another container. It's a close call of which was the most popular bridal colour combination between pink or blue. I think they were either blue bridesmaids or they were pink bridesmaids. For someone who's just watching for the first time, my grandmother was a dressmaker and she specialised in wedding dressmaking. So I've got her cottons. So I was commenting yesterday that as I spread them through this box that I've got, because they were in one container, it was just so hard to find a colour. So I purchased this container that has these little spikes and you can thread them in. Thread them all on these little spikes and I should be able to easily see then, you know, a colour as I'm hunting for it. And it holds 80. And of course that's not enough. Some of the reels are like these little guys, so I was able to put 3 on top. The other thing is we were watching a movie and the light in the room was dim. So I kept looking at cottons going, well, is that red or pink? I just couldn't tell. So it'll be interesting to have a look in the daylight today and see how bad it was. I have a feeling that my colours are all over the place, but I do need to get another container, it would seem. And probably resort them because of the light was pretty ordinary. Pink and red's very hard to pick. And I'd say some of the blues in there are like a turquoisey tone. Okay. Very good. So there's our little piece, nice and secure, ready for the decorative stitching. So our invisible stitch is done. The only thing I will do is do the overcast stitch, but I won't bore you with that. We've got a few minutes left, so I might just thread up this beige, and I'll start down here and just tiny little stitches, whip around that edge. And that'll just preserve it a little bit so it doesn't fray to bits on me. Like, I like that look, but I don't want to lose fabric. I don't think it would anyway, but it certainly would look ratty, especially if it's something that holds, you know, something that I'd have to pick up every day. Okay. I won't need to do that other edge because it's a selvage, so that is definitely not going to fall apart on me. This overcasting does add a little extra element to the piece as well. Makes it a bit more interesting. You can see where some more stitching has happened. There we go. Beautiful. I might just keep going because that's swinging in the breeze there a little bit. So I might just run a few little stitches down that edge just to make sure it's not going to pull apart. I don't think it will, but overstitch it. Can't hurt. There we go. Done. All right, guys. You all have a lovely day. I'm going to try and get some housework done. No promises, because I think I'd rather sit and stitch. You know how it goes. A lovely waste of time. Need to trim that a little bit. I want that frayed edge to be hanging out, but that edge can be trimmed back, and that one. And so we've just got that little frayed one as a bit of a feature. Definitely need, oh goodness, don't pull it. Okay, there we go. So my homework will be to dodge around the outer edge of that piece so that it's nice and secure. Around this guy, here's another one that's going to fray, and this one, yeah. So we've done this one here. So a little bit of edging to do, then we're ready to have a think about you know, the pretty stitching. So there we go. Love it. All right, guys, have a lovely day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.